I need to come up there or sit
Yes,
here?
you do. You have to come up here. And I need somebody with a 2-minute timer.
2-minute timer?
Yep.
Every iPhone in this room has a 2-minute timer.
Here, I think Eric's got it. Come on up. All right, so here's the way we do this in the workshop, and it's the way we'll do it in here as well. The purpose of the 2-minute timer is to know that you've got to be able to be concise with what you're doing. So at the end of 2 minutes, the way we're going to let her know that her time is up is we're all just going to start clapping, okay? So when she starts talking is when we'll start timing. When she stops talking, we'll all start clapping. First, I'm going to ask her a question. What is the most common profitable ROI for you? And by ROI, I mean it gains the most buy-in. I know you oversee a bunch of stores all over the country. You have store managers, you have sales managers, you have district people, the whole thing. So what's the most common, most profitable thing that if you could just get them to do this, it would be the biggest payoff ever?
Wow. Manage your inventory properly.
So if you would better manage your inventory, then the results you're going to get would be...
And I mean from the standpoint of purchasing better items, using data you collect from your customers to determine what's really selling. So total inventory management is going to be the best way that stores can get a return on their investment.
Okay, so each store is going to benefit from that. How will the store manager benefit from that?
Because successful managers excel in the company and they get bonuses.
So if you want a promotion or a bonus, then you need to, okay. All right, so let's set that aside completely.
Okay.
And let's think of a time when you were between the ages of 8 and 12. Any story that makes you laugh, makes you giggle, makes you cry, whatever, something you're emotionally invested in, that when that happened in your life, you still look back on it with deep emotion and go, I'll never forget that.
Oh, okay.
You ready?
Yes.
You got 2 minutes
To tell that story.
To tell that story.
Okay, so we live out in the country.
He's gonna start it so we can see it on the screen. That says 59. 2 minutes, not 1 minute. There you go. All right, you're good.
So we live out in the middle of the country in the Panhandle, very, very dry. It rains very infrequently, but when it does, creatures appear, horrible creatures called toads. Not like the kind that if you kiss it, it would turn into George Clooney or Denzel Washington, but I would not recommend doing that because it doesn't work. How do I know this? Because my brother produced one of those toads for me, chased me through the house repeatedly. Why? Because my parents were both at work, not there to supervise him, control him. I was not as large as he was. I was meaner. But anyway, so I got pinned down with a toad and forced to kiss it. It did not turn into a prince. It did, however, set me off of reptiles of all kinds for the rest of my life. Every now and then, I still have a dream about a slimy toad on my face. And it's horrible.
Wow.
So, is it funny now? It has elements of humor, but I don't like the idea that something continues to influence me as an adult. And I don't like the idea that my brother knows there are things that he can do to me that will still win. So, hopefully he's forgotten the episode. I have not.
Okay.
All right.
Look at that.
Time
is good. Very good.
Normally I can talk up the whole 2 minutes.
Thank you.
All right.
All right, you can have a seat. You want to restart that, Jason?
Yep. You want another 2?
Yep. I wake with a start, and I'm laying in bed next to my husband, and he's thinking, what in the world is wrong with this woman? And I have this vision in my head still shaking me of me. I'm running through the house from my brother, who's chasing me with a toad! A toad! He's trying to put a frog in my face. Why? Because he wants to know if it'll turn into a prince when I kiss it. Now, we grew up in the Panhandle, in the middle of nowhere. It's like desert out there. And it doesn't rain very often, but when it does, it's like whoosh. I felt like I was in Egypt with a plague of toads. They would just show up. Once a year a giant flood, and once a year a giant flood of toads. We're looking for locusts next or something. We got toads everywhere, and he's chasing me down, trying to see which one's going to turn into Prince Charming. Well, the answer is none of them. They simply don't do that. It doesn't work. Now, there's some things that I want you to understand about me being chased by a man with a toad. And that is, number one, it never turns from a toad to a Prince Charming. Number two, there are things that you do as a child to someone else that may come back to haunt you. Or there may be things that happen to you as a child that come back to haunt you. Why do I tell you that? Because here's something that I know is an absolute reality. If you don't take care of the toads of your past, the toads of your future are not going to go away. When you manage one of these stores, if you don't manage your inventory, you're going to have toads on the shelf that are going to sit there for years and years and years and never be sold. You're going to have data that could have told you that's not going to sell, you need some of these. Get rid of the toads, bring in the Prince Charmings, and that stuff is going to move. Why do you care? Because if you are not moving inventory through your stores with the data management that you need to, with the products on the shelf that you need to, that appeal to your audiences, you will not get promoted, and you will not get bonuses. Get rid of the toads in your stores, manage your inventory properly, and the bonuses coming your way.
Good job. Well done.
A minute, 55 seconds. You understand how I can take any random story and make it of value. The truth is, it's not about me, it's not about the story, it's about a system.
Yeah.
I don't care what you put in that little cupcake paper and stuff in that muffin pan when it's done cooking. What does it look like?
Cupcake.
It's a cupcake.
Delicious.
I don't care if it's meatloaf or ground turkey. When you put it in that muffin pan and you cook it, when you pull it out, you have a cupcake. That's just reality. The truth of the matter is there is a system to creating and telling a story. There are words you want to include and words you want to leave out. There are meanings you want to imply and meanings you want to be very direct about. I can imply that bad product on the shelf is a toad. I think everyone gets that relationship.